Good evening and welcome to the Milford Select Board meeting of February 10th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in Room 3 of Town Hall. I apologize for the slight delay this evening. We were in executive session at 5 o'clock, which ran a little bit over. So I just want to apologize for anybody who's waiting for us to come on. That was the reason for it. And with that, I'll start on the agenda. The first agenda item is the signing of the warrant.
Motion, Mr. Chair, to sign the warrant on February 10, 2025.
Second, Mr. Chair.
And I would make that unanimous.
Roll call.
Aye.
Roll call?
Roll call. He has to get on.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Aye as well. Okay.
Aye.
Next item is approval of the regular session minutes for January 27, 2025.
Motion, Mr. Chair, to accept approve the minutes, regular session of January 27, 2025.
Tom?
Second, Mr. Chair.
I'd make that unanimous. Roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. And the last agenda item under agenda item A is the approval of the executive session minutes of January 27th, 2025.
Motion, Mr. Chair, to approve the executive session minutes of January 27, 2025.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
I would make that unanimous. Roll call, please.
Aye, Mr. Chairman.
And aye as well. Next is on the agenda is public hearings. There are no public hearings scheduled for tonight's agenda, so we'll move on to agenda item C, which is scheduled appointments. Again, we do not have any scheduled appointments this evening, so we will move on to the next agenda item, which is the town administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just two items. I'm very pleased to report the installation of the new flooring is going quite well. I want to thank Carlos Benjamin for overseeing that. Pretty much the offices and the conference rooms will be done probably by this Friday. We'll then begin installing the new laminate flooring at the first floor level, which was where the select board office is, the tax collector, etc. We're going to try to do most of that work on Friday afternoon and weekends to hopefully minimize disruption to the public. But again, we're going to have department heads here and employees here to assist residents and others without interruption. The second item I want to mention is a number of residents received a notice from National Grid that they would be turning off their power tomorrow between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. As they're making improvements to the electrical system. As you can imagine, I received a number of phone calls and requests given the weather that we're having. I did reach out to the National Grid representative and requested that it be rescheduled. They are going to reschedule that work till April, so we will get a notice as to the new date. There's only certain streets, but if you do get phone calls, please assure them this is not going to happen tomorrow. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for that, too, because, people were concerned about that power
Sure,
being
you
shut off,
probably got some
especially this time of the season, and thanks for that effort that you made, and you were successful in doing that.
Rick, are they going to send notice to those same
Yes, they will
households?
send notice as they did prior. It will not be until the earliest in April. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, next agenda item is old business. Under old business, we have a common vicular wine and malt beverage license with cordial's approval. On December 16, 2024, the board approved a new common vicular wine and malt beverage license with cordials to Noble Brazil Incorporated of 9 Medway Road, Unit B. Noble Brazil is seeking approval of a revised application as the ABCC requested the submission of additional documentation for proof of funds, namely bank records to complete the transfer. The manager is Juliana Malakis, I'm sorry. All paperwork is in order. With that, motion?
Yeah, I'm going to have a motion, Mr. Chair, to approve the revised application as the ABCC requested the submission for additional documentation for proof of funds, namely bank records, which is needed to complete the transfer.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
And I would make that unanimous. And with that, a roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye, Mr. Chairman.
And I as well. Okay, that is it under old business. Under the next agenda item, which is new business, the first that we have is the town administrators, a notice of intent to sell 34 Beaver Pond Road, Unit 39.
Yes, we did receive a notice of intent to sell from Ron McCormick. He's the Senior Program Manager of the Citizens Housing Planning Association. The notice is to sell the affordable home located at 34 Beaver Pond Road, Unit 39. It's part of the Beaver Pond Commons, which is a Chapter 40B development. Under the Chapter 40B statute, the town has a right of first refusal to purchase the unit for the maximum resale price. The board needs to vote indicating that we do not want to exercise the right of first refusal to purchase the property if the board is so inclined.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I agree. Like I said, I don't think the town of Milton wants to be a landlord anyway.
No.
Owning and maintaining and managing affordable housing can also be costly and also use some of our resources as well that we could use to also improve community services. So I make a motion that we do not accept this.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
And I would make that unanimous. And with that, roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye, Mr. Chairman.
And I as well. And under new business, we have two applications from St. Mary's Parish. Attached is an application from St. Mary of the Assumption Parish for a one-day all-alcoholic beverage license for their Mardi Gras International Buffet to be held on Saturday, March 1st, 2025, between the hours of 5:30 and 11 p.m. at their Parish Center Large Hall, which is at 17 Winter Street in Milford. I know we're going to vote this twice, but I'm going to put them together in the presentation. And then they're also looking for an entertainment license for the same function for the same hours. With that, I'll go back to, so the first one we're looking for is a one-day all-alcoholic beverage license for the Mardi Gras. May I have a motion for accept that?
Motion, Mr. Chair, to accept the application of St. Mary's the Assumption for a one-day all-alcoholic beverage license for their Mardi Gras to be held on March 1st, Saturday, March 1st, 2025. And I remember our colleague, Selectman O'Laughlin, always mentioned, too, when you're doing that, you should make it an hour earlier or an hour later. So I was going to say from 4:30 to 12 midnight at the Parish Center at 17 Winter Street.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
And I would make that unanimous. Roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye, Mr. Chairman.
And I as well. And with that, we'll go now for the
Entertainment.
one-time entertainment license for the same function.
Yes, exactly. A motion, Mr. Chair, for approve the application for St. Mary's for a one-time entertainment license for their Mardi Gras to be held Saturday, March 1st, 2025, between the hours of 5:30 and 11 p.m. at their Parish Center.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
And I would make that unanimous. Roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Aye, Mr. Chairman.
And I as well. Next on our agenda is invitation to speak. Is there anybody in the audience for invitation to speak? Seeing nobody, and there's nobody online. So we'll move on to new correspondence. Does anybody have any new correspondence?
I don't, Mr. Chair.
Tom?
I do not, Mr. Chairman.
And I do not.
I do not.
And I do not as well. We've already been into executive session. So with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn from regular session.
Motion to adjourn regular session, Mr. Chair.
Second that, Mr. Chairman.
And I would make that unanimous. Good night. Roll call.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, Mr. Chairman.
And I as well. And with that, good night, everybody, and thank you for your patience. We apologize. We were a few minutes late coming on. But again, hope the rest of your week goes well. Thank you again. Bye-bye now.
Good night.